You're probably hearing a lot about Social Security right now. That's because the 2026 Trustees Report just came out, and it shows that unless there is reform, the Old Age and Survivor Benefits Trust Fund will run out in 2032, just 6 years from now. At that point, again, unless there's reform, every beneficiary will receive an automatic 22% cut. Right now, Social Security covers 56 million retired Americans, as well as 6 million children of people who paid in enough and then died. So there are several proposals for how to deal with Social Security, how to deal with this end of this trust fund. One very common one is to simply remove the cap. Unfortunately, first of all, it does not get you all the way there. It does not produce enough income to solve our problem. But secondly, it also doesn't deal with the demographic problem at the heart of this issue. The fact that succeeding generations of American workers are small enough that as time goes on, there are many more beneficiaries and fewer American workers to pay the benefits. I favor a proposal that came from Brookings Institute. It's intentionally a bipartisan proposal, and I favor it with some modifications. But the heart of it is very sound. It involves, first of all, increasing revenue to a point, lifting the cap to a point. It also involves decreasing outlays, but only to a point. And very importantly, broadening the base of people who pay into Social Security to ensure that it remains solvent long into the future. Let me give you a little more information about the proposal that I favor based on Brookings. First of all, it does raise the cap to a point, up to the 90th percentile. Beyond that, it doesn't. And when you look at Social Security as one of the many problems that we have with our future, I favor it in part because of that, because above the 90th percentile, we still need to collect revenue, but we need to collect it into our general fund so that we can deal with our debt. Secondly, I favor reducing some of the payments out. Now, I'm not talking about people who end up at the bottom end of the scale. I'm talking about people who end up at the higher end of the scale. Social Security was conceived as poverty insurance to make sure that people don't end their working productive lives in poverty. When you're someone like me and you end up with a high income, you don't need the full payout of insurance. When I retire, I just got a note from the Social Security Administration that says that if I retire at my full retirement age, I can expect to receive a monthly benefit of $3,669 a month. I don't need that. It could be $3,000 a month. It could be $2,500 a month. It would still be fine. So we can reduce payments at the top end, just don't reduce payments at the bottom end. And finally, broadening the base, including more workers into Social Security, closing some loopholes that keep people from participating in Social Security who should be, and finally to make sure that as we reform immigration, we are bringing in workers who will pay into Social Security, whether or not they ever actually receive Social Security benefits. So these are all ways in which we can reform the program fairly and ensure that it remains solvent long into the future.